Hi, so my name is Victoria Llanos, and I will be talking about the two steps in decision making, one being nominal and one being standard agenda. So the first one is nominal group technique, and it uses four steps. It includes generating ideas, recording ideas, discussing ideas, and voting ideas. So with generating ideas is when everyone in the group silently, mentally, or physically jots down their idea. The second part is the recording ideas, in which everyone starts talking about the ideas, and it's being recorded by the group leader to determine, make sure everything's down. And then discussing ideas is when people actually start debating the ideas, defending their points, arguing about the other ones. And lastly, voting ideas is when they decide to vote which one's better. So, in regards to a parking situation at school, the way I would use this is have people that are very affected by the problem, and I would have them follow the four steps in order to come to a solution. And essentially, it'd be a voting situation where you would vote which outcome you want it to be. So, in regards to a parking situation, whether it's lack of parking spots or like just in general needing more parking, it could be voted on how you would go about getting those parking spots. So, the second way is standard agenda. And the standard agenda uses 6 steps in the decision making process, and it involves defining the problem, gathering and analyzing evidence and information, establishing criteria for a solution, generating and evaluating possible solutions, selecting and implementing the best solution, and then monitoring the solution. So, with defining the problem is obviously you discuss the problem being presented, which is the parking problem. Then you would gather and analyze all the evidence and information. So basically, people would go out and kind of like a research project, you gather all the information and evidence that pertains to that problem that you want to solve. Then, with establishing criteria for solution, it's kind of like the nominal one where people discuss possible solutions based on the evidence that was gathered. And then generating and evaluating possible solution, that's when you start actually generating the solution. So mentioning based on everything that you've learned so far, it's just generating everything and evaluating a possible solution for each problem. And then selecting and implementing the best solution is kind of like the voting, but more on a basis of information rather than just preference. So they would select and implement the best solution. So let's say you wanted more parking in the situation, you would say that you would ask the school if they can fund for like more parking spots, and this is just implementing the solution, so making the solution in action. And then lastly is monitoring the solution, so actually monitoring how it plays out in order to have an actual like study done. So although you got everything done, now you want to monitor and make sure that this solution was actually effective and made the people who were upset happy. So in this situation, personally, I think I would use the standard agenda only because as a psych major, I use a lot of research-based things in order to back up what I'm saying. So I feel like with the standard agenda, using like gathering evidence, establishing the criteria, generating and evaluating the possible solutions, I feel like that's something that I would choose, especially in regards to parking, because it's not more of like a voting aspect. Because I feel like everyone at school wants more parking, but it's more like you need the evidence to actually get the school to possibly consider your offer. So that's what I would use.